Hello, this is Aisha. We are studying ICT of IGCSE, chapter number 10, Communication. In this video, we will discuss about effective use of the internet. Some terms that are used are, first of all, internet, global network of interconnected computers. Okay, global network of interconnected computer networks that is used to connect people, communities, and countries worldwide. So it is network of networks. Okay, multiple networks are connected together. It is a global network that is known as your internet. On the other hand, what is intranet? It is different from the internet. It is a private computer network limited within an organization only. It is globally available. Many networks are connected with each other. In intranet, only that organization, only to the particular organization, computer network, only within the organization. So this is private. Next, World Wide Web. That is the collection of information. Mostly at the website you see the www at the start. So basically it is a collection of information which is accessed via the internet. Sometimes some students that mix that www with the internet. Internet is something else. Okay, that provides you the facility, while the www is the collection of information which is accessed via the internet. You can access any website via the internet. So www is accessible only via the internet, and this is a collection of information. Next, you can have the cloud storage. That is, digital data is stored in a logical pools. The physical environment is typically owned and managed by the hosting company. These cloud storage providers are responsible for keeping the data available and accessible. Just giving an example, Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive. So this is your cloud storage. Means they are not taking memory at your device, but they are storing the data at the cloud. Okay. Next is ISP, Internet Service Provider. These are the companies that allow a connection to the internet, usually with a price attached to different levels of services. So from where you will get the internet services, that companies are known as ISP, Internet Service Provider, that charge a fee depending upon your type, your level of service, and then gives you the connection for the internet. Okay. Next is protocol. Protocol is basically standard set of rules. Okay, set of rules that allow electronic devices to communicate with each other. These rules include what type of data may be transmitted. So there are different types of protocol. Let's discuss few of them. First one is HTTP. Mostly at the website you see HTTP, then www, and so on. So HTTP represents the protocol. It means it is using hypertext transfer protocol. Where it is used? Used by the www to define how a web page is formatted and transferred. Next, you can see HTTPS in some websites. S means secure. Hypertext transfer protocol, secure. HTTP, that is using SSL, that is using secure socket layer to protect against eavesdropping. Most of the website, for example banks websites, they must have the HTTPS. Okay, means they have extra level of security. Third is FTP, file transfer protocol. Transfer files from one host to another, used when downloading or uploading any file. Okay. SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol, that is communication protocol for mail servers for transmitting the data, for transmitting and receiving the data for a mail. What is secure socket layer? A standard form of security to enable encrypted link between a server and a browser. So all data remains private. When you have any secure socket layer, then all data remains any private. For example, you are giving your credit card information, you are giving your password. If this is secure socket layer, then it will remain private. Okay. If you are giving such type of information, be sure that website is secured. URL, it is a unique address of any particular web page. This is an example of a URL. HTTP, it represents the protocol. Then this represents separation of address and the protocol. This slash sign indicates connection with the server. www, name of the server. This is your domain name. Okay, this is your type. Type means .com, commercial website, or any organizational, educational. So this represents your type. .gov, .edg. Then this slash sign represents the root directory, the main directory, the very first page of your website, and this is your subfolder. If you have opened any further page of your website, this is your subfolder. So this is how URL is divided. What is web browser? Web browser is a software application that is used to retrieve the web pages from the servers on the internet and to display them to the users. Okay, the programs, the applications which you use to open any website are known as the web browsers, just like Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Opera. So these are the web browsers. By help of these web browsers, you are able to open any website. Okay, search engine is different from the web browser. Many students mix that up. So please, web browser is the program that I use to open any web page, while search engine is a website that enables you to search the internet to find information. Here Google is a search engine, google.com, it's a search engine, while Google Chrome, this is a program that is used to open the website. So this is a web browser. Bing, Alta Vista, Yahoo, these are all the example of search engine. Next, blog. It is a website that you can use either as a diary of thoughts or to share ideas, opinions and links. Okay, website that you can use either as a diary of thoughts or to share ideas, opinions and the links. People have the facility to comment directly on any of your entries. Blogs are very useful for sharing knowledge. Wiki, a website that allows you to become a participant in its creation. You can create or edit the site contents. This is collaborative site that is always being revised. Blogs is more about individual opinion, mostly individuals use that, but wiki is about the group consensus. Okay, anyone can edit that, but that should be authentic. What is social networking? The use of dedicated websites and applications to interact with other users or to find people with similar interest to one's own. Similar interest like sports can be the similar interest. Okay, games can be the similar interest. Cooking can be the similar interest. So you can find the persons with a similar interest and you can interact with them. Individual and companies are using it as a marketing tool nowadays, just to publicize just to promote their business. Large organizations monitor discussions about their company or product so that they can resolve the issues. They also monitor how everyone is discussing about their product. If there is any issue, they can resolve that. That is very cost effective and traditional approach for the marketing, and it provides direct messaging feature, limited characters to communicate without the use of email. Okay, just like 160 characters is the limit, depending upon the different social networking sites. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of the internet? Limitless amount available. Okay, limitless amount of available information. Speed of accessing internet is advantage. Carry out research from home instead of visiting any library. You can get entertainment. Online services just like online shopping, banking are available. You can download softwares, musics. Cloud storage is available. So what are the disadvantages of using internet? Accessing relevant information is not fast. Okay, not easy to find reliable information. For example, if you search for any word, you can get thousands of the information. So which one is reliable, which one is related to you, it is difficult. It is not very easy. Possibility of theft of personal information. If you are giving any personal information, there is a possibility of theft. Viruses can be downloaded. Spamming. Extreme images, opinions, violence and dangerous sites are available to all. Okay, they are restricted in some countries but can be available. So these are the disadvantages of using internet. So it depends upon you how you are utilizing this internet. And how you will get the relevant and reliable information, you can evaluate that. How you can evaluate? Here are the several considerations to help you to decide on the reliability of information. If you find any topic, you can get thousands of articles, but which one is reliable? How you will get that? First of all, check the authorship. Who wrote it? Is it the authentic person? Okay. Then check the accuracy. Is it free from spelling and the grammar mistakes? Currency. Does the document show a publication date, and is it reasonably up to date or still relevant? For example, this presentation, it is depending upon the syllabus for the 2020 or 22. Will it be still reasonable for the 2030, or there are some changes in the syllabus? Okay. Bias. Does the site reflect just one individual view, not both point of view? Country and domain. Is it a government site or an educational site or a non-profit organization? So you can check all this information before taking that information. If all is okay, then you can see that it is a reliable information. That is all. This is how you can effectively use the internet. If you have any question, you can ask me in the comment section. Thank you very much for listening.